Here's a question that was sent to me. The individual wanted to know how they could figure out how to create a straight square line for a roof. On a gable roof, you could do something like this. Just simply measure from the edge, if of course the gable is actually square to the roof. I've seen some of these where they start out here and they go out at an angle. That would have to, you'd have to figure out another way on that one. But for a gable roof, something like this could be simple. However, it might not be that easy for a hip roof. So for a hip roof, how are you going to figure out how you're going to create a square line or find a specific measurement? And I think you could do that with a sheet of plywood. And I've actually done this before. If you're looking for a measurement, let's say 13 foot 10 3/4 inches from the edge of the fascia board, then you could always put a piece of plywood and use it as a large framing square. And the only problem with this is that you're going to have to make sure that the fascia board is actually straight, that there's a nice straight line. And rarely do you come across something where you don't have a straight line, but you could always hook a string up at both ends, drive a nail or a screw in here and at the other end, and then string a line across there. And I'll put a link here to a video that might be more helpful for you if you don't know about using strings as straight lines or to create straight lines. But basically what you would do here is use the plywood and then create a straight line. You could do that simply by drawing a point here or even driving a nail in. And if you're taking the roof off, you won't want to drive a nail into your shingles, but you could make a mark with a pencil or some type of a marker and then use the same method that you used here with the string to use it as a guide. You're not going to want to draw a nice big line across here. You might want to do it on your plywood sheathing, but you're not going to want to do it on your finished roof. But you could always use the string again. Use a screw and a screw up here maybe and attach a line there. And then this would give you a nice square line. But again, you've got to have a nice straight fascia board before this is going to give you a straight line. If the fascia board's off just a little bit, then it's going to push this line over in either direction and you won't have a square line. Now, I believe the individual was going to use this straight line for a metal roof. Of course, that would be nice to have. Now, there is another method I'd like to see if I could make sense out of. If you have a hip roof that comes up to a point like this, you could simply measure the distance, the overall distance, and then go to the center, because the ridge is usually going to be located in the center. Now that is in case it's an offset ridge, it won't work, but you should get the point here. If you come from the center measurement, if this is 20 foot, you would come to 10 foot and then get a line from the point here to the point here, and that should give you a square edge. And of course you could do the same thing here. Measure from here to here, and let's just say this is 30 foot. You would go to 15 foot. And then to get your mark up here, you would simply measure from this point to this point. The middle of this should be the same as the middle of the fascia board, or the line in the fascia board. And then that, of course, could give you a straight line also. So anyway, hope it helps.